Alright YouTube and Fallout community, so I want to bring you guys a video about the perks that I think would be pretty important for survival mode. Now you don't need all of them, but I think that they can all be pretty useful in their own ways. And these can be used for a new file or just a current file that you have. But let's get right into it. First up is strong back. They reduced the carry weight and they added weight to things that didn't previously have weight. So obviously strong back will be good. Just carry more things. Next up is penetrator, which is a pretty funny name, but this allows you to hit people's body parts in vats behind cover. Now, obviously, the enemies are a lot harder and stuff in this game, so you want to kill them as fast as possible. And if they're behind cover, it's really hard to kill them. So this could be a really good perk. Lead belly, it lets you take less radiation damage from food and water. Obviously, we have to eat and drink in survival mode, so this seems like a pretty obvious one to me. Cannibal. Okay, Cannibal I thought would be a good one. I didn't put this on the list for that you should take it. I thought it would be at first because you'd have a steady food source. You know, most things that you kill, you can eat. But according to a Reddit post I read, it doesn't work like I thought it would. There's apparently some kind of negative effects and stuff. If I don't link it in the description, remind me in the comments to link the Reddit post. It was a pretty interesting read. Next up is Ghoulish. This lets you when you're taking radiation, it heals you. I don't know that it gets rid of just radiation damage. I'm assuming you still take radiation damage, but I think it regenerates your lost health while you're in radiation. That could be pretty good. That could be the difference between life and death in survival mode. Local Leader lets you run supply lines between your settlements. Now, as we know, with survival mode, you have to sleep to save. So having your supplies, your building materials between each settlement would be really good. That way you don't have to go back to the Sanctuary Hills and walk back to wherever you want to build and stuff like that. Next up is Medic. This one's pretty obvious. You just heal your rat away and your stim packs just heal better. That's pretty obvious. Same thing with Locksmith and Hacker. Just to help you get through the game, so you don't want to get into a location that's really good for supplies and you can't get behind this locked door. Nerd Rage is a pretty interesting one. You have more damage resistance and you do more damage whenever your health drops below 20%. This is a perk that's been in the game for a while. It's been in Fallout 3 and New Vegas, and I've never really taken it, but I just might for survival mode because having increased damage resistance and doing more damage once your health drops to a certain point could be the difference between life and death. And you definitely don't want to die. Toughness, kind of the same thing. You just have more damage resistance. Sneak is pretty obvious too. That way you can scout locations better and you can avoid fights a lot more. If you come up on a location with some pretty hard enemies while you're crouched, you can be like, I'll come back here, and just, you can sneak away. Mr. Sandman with the rank 2 and 3. You deal more sneak damage when you have a silenced weapon. And with survival mode, you're going to be sneaking a lot. And I would imagine that you're probably going to use a silenced weapon as well, so you're not detected as often. So I think this would be pretty good. Along with this is the Ninja perk, where you deal more sneak attack damage. So you combo those two perks together, you can probably get a lot easier kills. Action Boy, your AP regenerates faster, your action points. You're going to be doing lots of running and lots of VATs in survival mode. There's no fast traveling, so you're going to be running from location to location. So I think action points would be pretty important. Quick Hands, you reload faster. This one could be the difference between life and death as well, because well, hang on, I lost my train of thought. Because you reload faster, so you don't want to be in the middle of an intense fight and your clip runs out, and you have to have a long animation for reloading. So I think reloading faster would be pretty good. Bloody Mess, you just deal more damage. That's pretty obvious as well. And then last up, the one I forgot to put on earlier on the list was Aqua Boy. With this, you don't take any radiation damage when you're in the water. So I think this would be pretty cool because if you're in a really intense fight and there's no chance of you winning, you could hop in the lake or a river and just swim away. And with the second rank to it, you're undetected. They can't detect you when you're underwater. So this would be pretty cool just to get out of intense fights. And if I had to choose the essential perks from this list, I would say that Strongback's important, the most important. Choose a weapon that you want to use, rifles, pistols, energy, automatic, whatever, and just focus on one class. That way you're not wasting perks on other types of weapons, and that way you can only carry a certain type of ammo with you. I'd say Lead Belly's important, Local Leader, Medic, Toughness, Sneak, and then Locksmith and Hacker. Those would be the essential ones for me for whenever I start a new file on survival mode. Let me know if there's any perks that you think would be pretty important for survival mode that I may not have mentioned today. Later.